Next Wednesday, Scotland celebrates its Patron Saints Day, so Richard Taylor went to St Andrews to find out more.
Now, according to legend, in the 8th century, this beautiful stretch of Scottish coast received a rather unusual visitor who was carrying a rather unusual package. His name was Regulus, a Greek monk, and he was on a mission from God. You see, Regulus had received a vision in which an angel had told him to take a certain relic that was housed in his monastery and to travel with it to the ends of the earth. Regulus didn't know where he was going, but he obeyed, travelled for months over land and sea, and was probably mightily relieved when he got here and was told to stop, put down the relic, and to build a shrine to house it.
The relic was part of the body of St Andrew, one of the 12 disciples. This is what remains of the church that contained the shrine. You can see the bases of the pillars on either side of the nave, the outline of the walls, and the high altar where the relic would have laid. But the church was demolished in the 16th century during the Scottish Reformation, and the relics were lost.
In the Middle Ages, this place was a major centre of pilgrimage, and Andrew became Scotland's patron saint.
You can usually identify images of Andrew because he's standing next to a cross in the shape of an X, known as a saltire.
According to tradition, Andrew spent the later part of his life preaching in what is modern-day Turkey, until he so outraged the authorities that they had him crucified. But they didn't nail him to an upright cross. They tied him to a saltire cross, the idea being to make him suffer an even slower death. But Andrew turned the table on his persecutors, continuing to preach and making even more converts. And of course, the saltire cross lives on in the flag of Scotland.
I am meeting with Adrian Cox to find out more about Andrew and his position as Scotland's patron saint.
This was a huge cathedral, the centre of the Church of Scotland's power in the Middle Ages.
A major pilgrimage centre.
Yes, this was an opportunity here that was rather special because Andrew was an apostle of Christ and he was martyred. So his relics were considered very, very powerful. Somebody that you would want to get close to admonish your sins throughout your life, something very, very important in the medieval period that people were very serious about, and also to seek cures sometimes for ailments and disease.
If you're a peasant in medieval Scotland, then Bible stories set around the Sea of Galilee in Palestine might have felt a little remote. But the idea that the bones of Andrew, Jesus' own disciple, were here on Scottish soil would bring them that much closer and have created a bond between Andrew and Scotland that is unbreakable.